Going to call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bliska.
Present.
Mr. DeSarno.
Here.
Mr. Kaminsky.
Here.
Mayor Morgan.
Here.
Mrs. Joffrey.
Here.
Mr. Kogan.
Here.
Mrs. McKnight.
Here.
Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The public meeting of Borough Council, Borough of New Providence, County of Union, State of New Jersey, and notice has been given in accordance with PL 1975, Chapter 231. That an annual notice or revision was made in conformance with Section 13 of the Act. Before we start, I'd like to have a moment of silence for Bev Rifkes, who died. She worked tirelessly for special needs youth, not only throughout the community, but she was on the Recreation Commission for decades. And she was, her and her husband Norman were a great influence in town. The other thing, I think we have to have a moment of silence for the Nashville victims. Another sad event that happened. And people always ask me about the high school, the traffic, this, that, and the other thing. But the way we did it was because we wanted to make sure all the doors were locked and all the students go through one door. It's a public safety issue. So let's have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. And God bless America. Okay, we have a proclamation designating April as Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we have Gretchen and Heather here from the county, and flags will be placed in Centennial Park along Springfield Avenue starting on Friday, March 31st. Come on up. We're easy here in New Providence. Whereas the Borough of New Providence and the state of New Jersey recognizes the problem of child abuse and neglect and is committed to help its victims. And whereas court-appointed special advocates, CASA, of Union County recruits, trains, supports, and supervises community volunteers as advocates for children who have been removed from their homes due to neglect or abuse. And whereas CASA has a record of public service protecting the safety and well-being of Union County's foster children, defending them from harm and ensuring that they are provided with court-ordered services that they need. And whereas CASA establishes and maintains effective relationships with family court, the Division of Child Protection and Permanency, Child Placement Review Board, Office of the Public Defender, Legal Aid, and other child-serving agencies, institutions, in order to create a cooperative environment in which to best meet the needs of children. Now therefore I, Alan Morgan, Mayor of the Borough of Providence, County of Union, State of New Jersey, hereby proclaim April 2023 as Court-Appointed Special Advocates of Union County Month, and urge all residents to become aware of the work and mission of CASA of Union County. Let it be known that we support the education efforts to raise awareness of the CASA program and at the local level and the needs of the community members to provide a voice for children in foster care. So, Mary Ann likes to take pictures.
Thank you.
we just wanted to say a word.
Sure,
Okay.
you can say more than that.
So Class of Union County extends its sincere thanks to the mayor and the council for issuing this proclamation, bringing attention to Class's mission to protect the best interests of local youth victims living in the child welfare system. The recognition is especially important now as April's just about to begin, and that is National Child Abuse Prevention Month, a time when working to further raise awareness about the youth we serve through blue flag displays throughout the county, and as many towns as possible. When you see a sea of blue flags, know each flag represents 4 youth in the child welfare system here at no fault of their own. It is critical these youth from birth to age 21 know we have their backs, not just during April and Child Abuse Prevention Month, but every day. And asking towns to set up to host flags for the month is one way to remind these youth we see them, we hear them, and we support them during a time in their lives that should be relatively carefree, not the reality they know, trauma, loss, and unknowns. And last but not least, we don't have any of our advocates here tonight, but we do have some from New Providence, so we just want to recognize them as well.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to go a little out of order because, well, first let's do the Community Pool and Recreation Corporate presentation. Tom, Danny?
Hi guys,
Welcome.
so I'm Tom, this is Dan, we're from the New Providence Community Pool. So first, we just want to start off and thank the mayor and council, Bernadette, Allison Smith from the rec department for all your support over the years. You guys are great. Anytime we have a problem or question or curveball, you guys are always there for us, so we appreciate that very much. I always like to give a shout out to my management team, Steve Hughes, Christine Cronin, Dan Barletta, Jackie Bovary, Jen Hughes now, and Kenny Platt. So we're excited about this season. We're always excited. It's like right before like opening day of baseball, like opening day at the pool. It's like an exciting month for us. We're planning everything. We're getting everything going. So we're really excited that to open the pool and get back to the old normal. Most importantly, this is our 60th year anniversary, which is pretty incredible when you think about it. I know New Providence is an old town, but I've only been here 11 or 12 years, so 60 years to me is a lot. So we're excited. So we're having a huge party, which you guys will find out about soon, but it's on June 10th. We're going to have a DJ, a dunk tank, a raffle, free ice cream. We've asked the police department, the fire department, the EMS to all show up, and we'll do some stuff for the kids, all kinds of fun stuff. So we're going to make it into a big day. We just opened up our membership, so you can certainly sign up for the pool anytime. Our swim team, the swim and dive team, both competitive development registration is open for the kids for 6 to 18 years old. So we're excited about that as well. But everything's open this year. We have both 2 Olympic-sized pools open, snack shack, playground, lap lanes, water slide, high dive, basketball, shuffleboard, foursquare, everything is open. We're very excited. We also just finished our event planning. So we have team night, senior day, family fun day, movie night, raft night, yoga, Zambini, whatever that is, and all kinds of other crazy stuff.
You'll find out soon.
Yeah, I know it's water and exercise class, but yeah, so we're doing all kinds of fun stuff, and we're excited about it. And yeah, we just can't wait to open the pool. I mean, that's like the most exciting day of the year for us. I don't know if you guys have any questions or.
Now, how many people do you have from out of town? Because I know you were,
Yeah, so we have
membership was
about a
dropped through.
70-30 mix. Yeah, we have a 70-30 mix of
Okay.
Providence versus
And it works out fine?
non-residents, yeah.
Okay.
So we try to keep it balanced so that it's primarily New Providence. I mean,
Yeah.
it is the community pool, it's kind of in our DNA, so
Right.
we stay focused on that.
I think that's been in the bylaws from the
Yeah.
get-go.
Okay.
I think last time you guys were here, we talked about rebranding and maybe getting some marketing.
Yeah, so we talked about that ad nauseum. We talked about that, and we just keep coming back to I hate to give Dr. Bob a shout out, but Dr. Bob always said, when you're making decisions in town, say New Providence first, New Providence first, New Providence first, then think about what your problem is, and then kind of come up with a solution. So we kind of came back to our name and our mission statement, and it's the New Providence Community Pool. We thought about changing it, we tried to change it, we couldn't come up with anything better than the New Providence Community Pool, because it is the community pool, and kind of that's kind of central to who we are and what we're all about. So we tried really hard to come up with something better, but we couldn't, so.
When you change your name, there's a lot that goes into that
Yeah.
too. You have to change your corporation name and, yeah.
So we're sticking with it. We think we have a great name, and it's kind of who we are and what we're all about. So we're going to stick with it. We started a marketing campaign. You probably got postcards in the mail. If you haven't already, you should be getting them this week. But yeah, we're excited. We're more excited this year than ever. I mean, we're back. So
Well, you just reminded me of one thing.
sign up.
Is Rosemary Hughes,
Yes.
she was with the pool from the very beginning, I believe, and she just
Yep.
passed away.
Yep, 60
So
years.
I'm going to ask everybody to stand up and give a moment of silence for her. Thank you so much. And I know Rosemary, Berta Bezia, Claire Stein, they were all at the library and gave a history of how the pool started and.
Yep, absolutely. We're going to honor her at the party as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And, Bert and Claire are still alive and
They'll be there.
they gave out a lot of information I didn't know because I think I was like 8 years old when it was open, so. Okay,
So when can people sign up and how can they sign up and do you
can
have
go to our
any
website.
specials
Yeah,
or?
you can go to our website. The early bird special has started, so if you want to sign up for your family membership center, all of you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that goes through when?
That goes through.
April 10th?
Yeah, I think April 10th is when the early bird is through.
You know better than that.
I know.
And I usually find out on April 9th because I get a lot of text
Yes.
messages.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
Pacific time or is that
Yeah.
East?
Yeah. Okay.
So we're excited, yeah, so we're expecting a big turnout this year.
Yeah,
So I
I
was
think-
gonna say, after COVID, right, there was just a lull and people were afraid but I think that's hopefully all behind us and everybody can get out and enjoy this beautiful facility that we have right here in town. We're very lucky.
Yeah, we're there, and we're, also, I should probably mention, Memorial Day, we're having like an open house or something too. We have to figure out all the details, but it'll be an open house to New Providence residents, and the board will be there to kind of give tours and whatnot, and get people excited about the pool, so.
nice,
That's
good idea.
And I'll send you guys a copy of our event schedule once we finalize it this
That'd
week.
be good.
Sounds
Good.
great.
Hey, thank you for what you do, both of you gentlemen. The pool is such a big part of our town, and I know you work hard to keep innovative things and keep it relevant, so, again, thank you.
Yeah, it's not work, it's fun for us, so.
Yeah. How do we serve the community and the members of the pool? So it's great.
Great. Well, we thank you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
and I'll see you in the dunk tank.
I think you just signed up.
Yeah, I've done that many years. I'm gonna go out of order a little because I see the diversity committee's here and they have students here. Do you wanna make a presentation?
Yeah.
Sunil, come on up. Go ahead. We're easy here.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Constantine Munoz, and I am joined here with Nuva Janssen, Rafael Niazi, and Absharma. Today, we would like to propose this year's Unity Fair, the Colors of Humanity event, previously named Race Unity Day. The aim of this event is to celebrate all cultures and educate attendees in an engaging way. We are currently working with other NPHS students and UCVTS students, as well as the New Providence Diversity Committee, to plan the 5th annual Unity Fair. Our proposed date for the event is June 3rd, 2023, with a rain date of June 4th, from 5 to 7 p.m., with approximately an additional hour both before and after for setup and cleanup.
Hello. So this year, our goal is to provide a fun and exciting experience for all members of all ages. So what we're going to do is the event will once more consist of festive booths that have a lot of interactive components. So some examples would be booths from the NPHS language clubs. We also, for example, have a New Providence Middle School student running a Pakistani booth, and we also have a Nepali booth, and those are just some of the ones that we will have. And additionally, there will be cultural performances, so songs, dances, and some guest speakers who will share speeches and poems about their identity. And guest speakers may also include members of the Borough and Diversity Committee if they wish to speak. As for the resources, we request from the Borough that we would like to use Centennial Park as the venue, with Academy Street being closed off. And we will also need about 20 tables, printer access, a police officer on duty, and then audio setup for the performances and speakers, as well as personnel to assist us with that. And also we would like to have access to the bathrooms in the rec center and just a room for us to store supplies and equipment.
So something new for this year, we hope to introduce food trucks or food vendors into this year's event. And we are looking into feasible health department permitted vendors, so those with already permits and have been in previous events. While this is a new component this year, we believe that food is one of the best ways to bring people together. And another component that we would like to focus is the promotion of the event. We would like to use the Facebook and Instagram pages of Diversity Committee, New Providence Borough, Recreation, etc. We would also like to put flyers in local places like the New Providence School District schools and the library, and use other electronic forms of communication like the Tap Into articles and New Providence What's Happening newsletter.
Well, I can tell you right now that we can't speak for the schools or the library. The library has their own board, but you can go to them directly, okay?
Thank you.
To end this event, we would like to wind up with a celebration of the festival Holi. Holi is the Indian festival of colors which represents unity and love amongst our community. This event would likely take place in front of Centennial Park at Academy Street. And for this celebration, we'd like to request Holi packets for our anticipated attendees. We would also like to request washing stations to contain water to rinse the participants. The presence of around 4 to 5 of these stations would be more than enough. The Holi celebration will end the Colors of Humanity event as colorfully and as vividly as we imagined it.
Thank you.
Okay. Evie, you want to say a few words about this?
Yeah, I sure do. Well, first of all, thank you guys so much for all of the work that you've done. Not only this year, how long have you guys each been working on this event?
This is our third year.
That's your third year?
That's okay.
And second?
This would be my
Okay, so we have collectively a lot of time that has been invested in our committee and invested in our borough, bringing this outstanding event to our residents. So I want to thank you for that first. In terms of, yeah, we have everything written up that you just talked about. In terms of publicity, also we want to send it out through the Smart 911 distribution as well. Residents sign up to get community events, so they would get an email. I believe we would aim the day, or actually maybe the week before the event, to send out the Smart 911. So we want to include that as well. And then I guess we could just talk about Holi. So the only thing that we are concerned is we just want to make sure that it's put in the right place. And up until Sunday, I've never been to a Holi before. Alex has never been to a Holi before, and we just went to our first Holi on Sunday over at the Watchung Reservation. So based on that and what we've observed, we feel that we can contain it and keep it safe on Academy Street, but up by the steps. So we don't want to have anything right outside of Centennial Park because we figure that's where the food trucks are going to be. And then also, we have our memorial in Centennial Park. So we want to keep everything away from that park area. So we're considering having it on the street outside of the steps from the building, and it could be there up on Academy Street there. It does not take a lot of space. It does not really leave much residue behind, just a little bit of residue behind, because it's more so, you're distributing the colors, you're giving colors to each other, wishing each other a happy Holi. There's music, there's dancing. He didn't dance, I danced. I had a great time, it was a lot of fun. And I really gained a great appreciation for the celebration, and I would definitely love to include that as part of the day, the Unity Day, because I think that will definitely end it on a very happy ending note, especially for you seniors, you can go out with a very colorful ending. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, the only thing I would also add, I appreciate the name change as well, or the rebranding that you guys did. I think in our committee meetings, we talked the Race Unity Day. A lot of us, at least myself, thought this was a 5K race in New Providence, but now calling it Unity Day and having the international flavor to it for sure is definitely going to attract a lot more people. But as Nadine said, I really applaud your effort. You guys are terrific. When you first presented to us a few weeks ago, we tried to tell you this was going to be easy, and you guys did a wonderful job, so I really commend you for all your effort.
How would the washing stations going to work?
Well, that's what we did in the Watchung Reservation. They just had wipes. So I think we can actually even get by with like wipes. I don't think we need any kind of station. You can get like,
I think
that's what we
we
had.
literally were able to brush it off. And
I didn't even use the wipes.
Yeah.
And I got back
What
into
is
this
it,
nice car
chalk?
after.
Chalk.
It's
Color.
yeah.
Like a powder.
It's a powder more so than a chalk, because you think of chalk, you think of it being abrasive. I'm not gonna show pictures, but you
So
think of
when
it
it
being
rains, it's
abrasive.
going to wash away?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It washes away very
we
easily.
didn't even see any residue on the floor or the
No.
grass and everything like that.
Yes, very
It dissolves real quickly.
It dissolves very quickly, and it would be gone by the next rain.
Okay. Any other comments?
I would say, I'm very impressed with your presentation. You guys did a really great job, and to your point, you said, you guys have been doing this for a long time, and it really, what's really special about New Providence is, you do something once and people enjoy it, and you do it again, and it gets better and better, right? So this event just keeps getting better. So well done by you guys and the committee.
So, yes, sir.
Can I just add a couple of words, Mayor and Council? Thank you so much. I think the collaboration, particularly Councilwoman Joffrey, Councilman Cogan, but also administration, Wendy, Bernadette, and Allison, who's not here. So we've had some interesting discussions. But I was so pleased to hear Bernadette say at the last meeting that our preparation was much improved. So we've gotten better at presenting in a way that you can digest this information readily. So really, I think that's what stands out in our town, that we collaborate, we learn, and we have an outstanding group who's really, our future leaders planning it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil.
Could we get a picture with you, Mayor, with the young folks before we leave?
You two want to come up?
Sure.
Yeah, you two come up. You're the liaison.
Come on, Alex. We did refund work for Holi.
But why don't we get up here, because I'll have the town seal. Yeah? Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll talk about the full details. Nice to see you. Which one? Thank you, Sunil. Great seeing you. Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, we didn't go very long. Okay, I have an appointment for Kathleen Dolan for Municipal Alliance. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye. Yes.
No, so be it. Approval of minutes of March 14th, conference meeting. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Yes.
No, so be it. March 14th, regular meeting. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, so be it. We have correspondence for New Providence Fire Department, junior membership of Nicholas Arcadia, we welcome him. Terraphase Engineering, Berkeley Development Corp. for 1731 High Street, and remediation has been completed. Union County Improvement Authority, their annual meeting. Union County special meeting on fiscal affairs, and Township of Chatham land development ordinances. Any comments? Seeing none, we'll go to council business, and we'll go to administration. Lisa.
Thank you, Mayor. Excuse me. We'll start with the introduction of ordinance 2023-02. This ordinance is an amending chapter 147 of the Code of the Borough of New Providence entitled Fees and Licenses. This ordinance changes the fee paid for the use of police vehicles only, so not the police officer, just the police vehicle, from $100 per day to $150 per day for vendor escrow jobs. Item 12, letter F, number 3. All other fees remain the same. The change in the fee accounts for the increase in gas prices and wear and tear on the vehicles. So again, this is for the vehicles only. It's when you see, the gas company or the electric company on the side of the road and they need to use a police officer, that type of thing. Resolution 2023-096 is a resolution authorizing contract for municipal management software from Property Pilot LLC. This resolution authorizing the borough to enter into a 12-month contract with Property Pilot to provide municipal management software in the amount not to exceed $36,364.
Okay, we already did diversity committee.
We've all said that.
Okay, community activities, Pete.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2023-98 is a resolution amending the contract for bus transportation services for community activities and senior programs awarded to Broadway, Elite Tours, doing DBA Passaic Valley Coach. This resolution is amending the original contract with Passaic Valley to account for an unexpected increase in gas and parts prices. Passaic Valley has been providing bus services for the borough for more than 10 years. All costs for the buses are incorporated into the fees paid during registration, and it's my understanding that this has been reviewed in accordance with our purchasing guidelines. I believe Jim Test, our CFO, has been important in leading this effort. Jim, can you elaborate on this for us?
Sure. The original resolution was for 3 years. That was based on a request for quotations, which is different than a formal bid. And it was broken out for 3 years. In the third year, as Peter said, that the vendor came back and said they could not do the services for what they quoted 3 years ago based on all the unforeseen circumstances. So what we did was, since it was a quotation, and for year 3 it was under the bid threshold, we asked the vendor to submit another quotation for their services for this year. When we see that, we compared it to the second lowest bidder back in 2020, and this one was still lower than the second lowest bidder, so therefore we can move and do a resolution to award it under the new terms of the contract, which will give us the services in the summer. As you know, right now, it's very hard to get buses.
Yeah.
At all. If we lost this vendor, I'm not sure what we do for the summer program. So it worked out, and it does follow the purchasing laws that are set. So.
And they've been very reliable over the years, so.
They've been very good, and we
Yeah.
feel safe with them. This is
Yeah.
mainly really for the teen venture camp, so this is, we're putting our kids on their buses. So we
Yeah.
feel very safe and comfortable with this company, and it makes sense to do as such.
Thank you, Jim. That's it, Mayor.
Okay, engineering.
Thank you, Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2023-099, resolution authorizing return of escrow funds to PBK 44NP LLC. This is to return escrow funds in the amount of $63,4625 associated with the application variance that was rescinded after the codification of the zoning and land use ordinance were adopted. Resolution 2023-100 Resolution authorizing the agreement between the Borough of New Providence and the Borough of Madison for construction inspection services. I believe this was a handshake agreement, and we're basically now memorializing this agreement for inspection services, of course, subject to scheduling and availability of our staff and their staff. This agreement will be in place from April 1st of 2023 through March 31st of 2024. Resolution 2023-101, resolution approving purchase order 23-00597 for 705 Central Avenue condominium in the amount not to exceed $21,450 for repaving at 705 Central Avenue. This is to approve the payment for the parking lot repavement. The borough owns the front portion of the building where the Summit Speech School is located. The $21,400 allotment here is for half of the amount of the project. And then we have an ordinance to introduce, ordinance 2023-03, an ordinance by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of New Providence amending the Borough of New Providence Code of Ordinances to repeal Chapter 281 Flood Damage Prevention section of 281-1 through 281-19. To adopt a new chapter 281 Floodplain Management, section 281-1 through 281-17. To adopt flood hazard maps, to designate a floodplain administrator, and providing severability and effective date. Bernadette, you can help me, but this is really just a requirement by the state.
Correct.
That's going to adopt our construction officer, sitting in the back, Keith Lidge, as our floodplain management person.
Correct.
Okay, finance, Lisa.
All right, thank you, Mayor. So we're going to do our budget presentation tonight. Okay. So while you're getting that ready, I'll just give a little shout out to, we have Jim Testa sitting here. He's our CFO. So I want to thank Jim. I know it's a lot of work. Bernadette, Wendy, all the department heads. These are the people that really are the reason why our borough is in such good shape. Especially a year like this that we've had, and I feel like we say that a lot, unfortunately. We have these challenging economic years, but this year has been tough. We've had some micro and macroeconomic issues. Of course, everybody's been impacted by rising inflation, rising interest rates, the unsteady markets. All of this stuff has put a lot of pressure on the budget, and our municipal team really put in many hours. They took a real deep dive analyzing every line, item by item, to get the budget as lean as possible without sacrificing services that we're accustomed to, and making sure that the borough maintains its utmost financial health. And we'll go over our goals later, but the one certainty is that we don't want to risk our AAA bond rating. So they did all of this, right? Making sure we had a nice lean budget, looking at everything line by line while maintaining services and maintaining the ratios and stats that we need for our rating. Another thing this year is that last year you requested that we leave some time, right, between the introduction of the budget and the adoption, so that you would have time to review it, digest it, come up with some questions. So we heard you. So this year we're doing it a little bit differently. Tonight, Councilwoman Diane Beliska and I will be introducing the budget, and then at the April 25th meeting, we will be adopting it. And at that point, you can ask questions. So you will have pretty much an entire month to take a look at it. It will be posted on the website. You can review it and come back with questions. So with that, we will jump right in with the annual budget process. So like I said, this is the operating budget, which includes personnel costs, and that's everything from our administrative team, our recreation department. We have annual facility operating costs, and this is everything from turning on the lights and heating the buildings, debt service, And the operating budget is funded primarily through local property and sales taxes, licenses. This category includes, your building department fees, dog licenses, the alcohol licenses, hotel fees, charges for services, and other similar sources of revenue. Then there's the capital budget, which is slightly different. The capital budget funds major improvements to the borough and its infrastructure. So these are longer-term endeavors, right? So they're not, on the budget and off the budget. They're things that are have a longer capital life. And so this is things like paving roads, building some major building projects. It includes resources that have an expected lifetime that extends beyond the acquisition year. The capital budget is supported by debt, grants. Those grants come from the Fed, from the state, and possibly even some private, but probably not so much, and cash. With that, with that debt, we look at the multi-year capital plan. And that's developed so that we can strategically structure and ladder the capital debt and manage that debt through the operating budget. So it all kind of cycles back. So whatever debt we take out for the capital plan projects cycles back into the operating budget because it has to get paid for. The annual budget process occurs between the months of November and April and involves input from all the department heads, like I said, the borough administrator and the CFO. Once the draft is developed, it is reviewed and adjusted based on meetings with the borough's finance committee. I want to just add that although the budget process is November to April, technically it's a year-round endeavor. Expenditures and revenue items are reviewed year-round as they evolve and change, and if adjustments need to be made. So as I was saying before, there must be at least 28 days between the budget introduction, which is tonight, and the public meeting where the budget can be formally adopted. That public hearing and adoption will be held on April 25th. Once the public hearing is closed, the governing body can either adopt the introduced budget or amend the budget. Depending on the amendment, the budget may not be able to be adopted on the same night. There may need to be further advertisement and an additional public hearing. The introduced budget will be available on the borough website for citizen review in the next day or so.
So what are our goals for the budget? To demonstrate fiscal responsibility and sound fiscal planning and management. Continue practices that support our AAA bond rating, which Lisa mentioned. And spoiler alert, that will be our next slide. In short, that's a huge deal. Assure adequate funding levels to reserve accounts for tax appeals, storm recovery, and insurance. This is another big deal. Similar to any household's rainy day accounts, we need to have reserves. We have three major items that we have those reserves, like we just said, tax appeals, storm recovery, and insurance. If we have a huge snowstorm one year, we need to have a reserve. We consider the burden on all of our taxpayers. We want to maximize operational efficiencies, review and analyze staffing needs. Like Lisa said, we're reviewing constantly on a yearly basis, not just on a budgetary basis. Seek shared services whenever possible. Seek grants whenever possible to fund operations and capital improvements. And above all, be mindful of the tax impact on taxpayers. We want to have affordable increases, steady increases, so there's no surprise shocks, while, again, having the highest level of service and what our residents expect. And above all, or not above all, but another consideration is the impact of our current decisions on future budgets. We definitely want to make sure that whatever we're doing this year, we're looking at the past, we're looking at the present, and we're looking at the future. So our AAA bond rating, which is our guiding principle. So New Providence has received a AAA bond rating from all three major rating agencies, which are Moody's, Standard & Poor's, and Fitch's. There are only a very few select municipalities in New Jersey with a AAA bond rating from 2 agencies, and there are even fewer that have AAA bond ratings from 3 rating agencies, which we are one of the few. So what does this mean? Like I said, it's a very huge deal. To have this AAA rating, it is the highest rating that can be assigned. It shows that we demonstrate very, very strong credentials in relation to other municipalities. We can meet our financial commitments, and we have a very low level or a low chance of default. And why is this important? Like Lisa mentioned in the first, not the first slide, but in the beginning, we do go out and we have debt to, we go out for bonds to fund our long-term capital projects. So the chart that's here, it just gives you a really quick discussion or a really quick, easy appearance of AAA versus AA, right? $25 million over 20 years. You have a 3% interest rate on a AAA rated bond with a AAA rating, a 3.5% with a AA rating. So obviously there's a difference, and over the life of that debt, it's $7.82 million versus $9.12 million, which is a savings for our taxpayers of about $1.3 million over the life of the bond, which is a huge deal.
So the owners of real property in New Providence pay real estate taxes based upon the assessed valuation of their property. The municipal governments collect the property tax for the benefit of 3 different taxing entities: the municipality, the local schools, and Union County. The mayor and the council control only the municipality portion of this tax. So the municipal tax is the one that directly affects the borough. The school tax is determined by the Board of Education, and we, the mayor and council and the borough, we have no control over that portion. And same with Union County. That is the county budget is established by the county commissioners. Again, we have no control over that portion of the budget, or of that tax, rather. The proposed budget is under the state cap requirements for appropriations and tax levy. We are maintaining all current programs and staffing levels. The state aid that we received this year, although it says it increased, it increased by $9,000, which I would consider basically flat with last year. The proposed budget this year is at $25,992,635. And this equates to an increase in the municipal tax rate of 1.73%, or $73 per household, and that's on the average assessed home in New Providence. So that comes out to about $6.08 a month. Nobody wants to pay higher taxes ever, right? But if you think about it in terms of what we've seen this year, just think of how much more money you're paying for everything at home, right? How much more you're paying in the supermarket, at the gas pumps, everything, your insurance, everything is going up. And the fact that the borough, have been able to hold this rate at 1.73% is phenomenal. So some of the highlights: we continue to deliver high levels of services to all residents. The budget includes increases in staff as follows. We have an administrative assistant that is moving from part-time to full-time. And we have the addition of a full-time borough engineer in the budget as well. So some of the biggest drivers of the 2023 budget: insurance costs. We've seen a 21% increase to our group medical, also a nice healthy bump to our liability insurance. Negotiated contractual costs, solid waste and recycling costs up nearly 7%. Like I was saying before, utility costs increases, and also pension costs, probably up about 12% this year. So the pension costs are supplied by the state and are statutory payments, so not any control over those. So all these areas are putting some extra pressure on our budget this year.
I'm always going second or last, and I always feel like I'm saying, and ditto to what she said, just in general.
Did I steal your thunder? I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just going to reiterate a lot of the things that you said. So we have, I get the pretty colorful slide. So this is basically our proposed budget appropriations. The breakdown is actually very, very similar to our expenses from prior years, or our budget from prior years. And these are expenses that are necessary to run the town and cannot and should not be changed. Lisa just mentioned in her highlights that inflation has hit many of our expense lines. And this is, I wrote this down, so I'm going to say it. Even so, the borough does a very good job reviewing and managing our everyday operations. So kudos to our borough staff and everyone in it. So if you look at the right side of the pie, you've got public safety, pension, health insurance, employee benefits, and debt service. And those three pieces are about 45%, which is a big chunk of our expenses. Public safety, fire, EMS, police. This is one of our guiding tenets, keeping our residents and visitors safe. So those expenses are for everything to keep our residents safe. Again, it's one of the things that we do invest very well in. I just said public safety. Pensions, Lisa just mentioned, this is mostly a statutory and regulated cost. We have very little control. Infrastructure, our debt service is basically going towards our infrastructure. Public works, garbage, sewer treatment, that's approximately 18%. That's all things to basically keep our borough running. Library is basically, it's a 4%, which is another, it's a smaller one, but that's an in and out. And the rest is just what we do to keep our borough running. Streetlights and utilities, community activities, which we've talked about, the rec department. And that's about it. Again, we manage our dollars very well. We look at a lot of things. Kudos again to our borough employees. Okay. This is the proposed budget revenues, and again, very similar percentages to the prior year. Our municipal taxes are 60%. It's the biggest piece of the pie. Other revenues are, like Lisa already said, is hotel fees, parking, shared services. She did forget licenses for cats, which apparently is a big thing, and we had a lot of licenses for cats this year. Fund balance is 16%, and that's very similar to the prior year. Grants fluctuates, but our amazing borough team is constantly looking for grants. We have a great relationship with Union County, and that helps us to realize grants on the county level. State aid had a nominal increase, less than 1% from the prior year, and there's your library taxes, which is your in versus your out on the prior slide. Okay, this is another illustrative slide. It's basically an estimated 2023 breakdown of total tax bills of a market value average house of $700,000. So basically what this is saying is for every dollar of taxes, the borough controls about 20 cents, a little more than 20 cents. Union County is a little more than 21 cents, and a little more than 56 cents is our Board of Education budget. That's where your money goes. Some of these things like open spaces, library tax, those are given to us based on our population. If you compare our tax percentages to neighboring towns, you'll see that they're very similar.
So yeah, let's compare to our peer communities. If you look at that first column, the average tax number, that, is a little deceiving because you're not comparing apples to apples there. So in that column, we look a little high, but the reason is because we are one of the only municipalities in the area that includes garbage and sewer in your tax. Towns like Cranford, Scotch Plains, you're paying separately for garbage and you're paying separately for sewer. So once you add those in, you get a truer picture of where we fall, and that is in the top three. So I think this is a good chart that just, show you up, so you can compare apples to apples of where our borough falls. So as I was saying before, the capital budget funds major improvements to borough facilities and infrastructure. Again, these are areas that have a longer expected life. This allows projects to be amortized across their useful life rather than burdening the taxpayer in 1 year. So instead of going out and paying or funding an expensive project and putting it on the books and amortizing it over a short period of time, having a longer amortization enables us to budget that and also to have a nice sort of a steady cash flow. This also allows residents utilizing the project in future years to pay their share of the cost. So if people move into town, people move out of town, having that longer amortization, everybody participates in paying for that project. It supports capital projects through multiple funding sources, and like we said before, that would be bonds, grants, cash, and strategically layering that debt so that payments amortize consistently over time. It allows aging infrastructure to be maintained through continually investing in capital projects. But one thing about the budget, the capital budget, is that it's tied to a capital plan. We always go out and look, at least 5 years out to see what projects might be coming up, and that's how we plan for them. So we do have a long-term plan. We keep a long-term view and focus so that we know what's coming down the road, and to ensure that we have the dollars available for those projects. So the Borough Council is committed to remain fiscally responsible and pursue projects based on needs of the community rather than the wants. The 2023 proposed budget does include approximately $3 million for a capital improvement plan. The projects are reviewed on a case-by-case basis before making any decisions to move forward in funding and completing the projects. So some of the things that we would consider, before moving ahead is, is this the right environment? Is it the right course of action? Does the project resolve safety issues or concerns? Does delaying the project have any type of negative impact on the borough operations? So those are, things that we would consider before entering into a capital project. Another thing to note is that projects that are currently underway are from prior year appropriations. And I think that wraps up the operating budget. So like I said, what will happen is it will get posted on the borough website. And then on April 25th, we will take questions and comments and pass it, hopefully.
I think it's also important, if anybody has any questions and can't make the council meeting and wants to know the answers ahead of time, you can always contact us through the website, and we would be happy to answer any questions. Okay? Thank you. Lisa and Diane.
So I think I have some more.
You have some more business.
I do have some more talking to do. Okay. So we've got the introduction of ordinance 2023-04. This is calendar 2023 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. So that is NJSA 40A 40-45.14. The introduction of ordinance 2023-03 allows for the 2023 municipal budget to exceed 1% of the 2022 budget and establishes a cap bank for funds not appropriated as part of the final budget up to 3.5%. Mouthful. Resolution 2023-102 is a resolution approving the introduction of 2023 municipal operating budget and establishing the hearing date. The introduction of the municipal operating budget, we just did that for 2023. A hearing of the budget and tax resolution will be held at the municipal building on April 25th, 2023 at 7:30 p.m., at which time and place discussions regarding the budget and tax resolution for the year 2023 may be represented by taxpayers and other interested parties.
Lisa, can I just stop you there and I just want to make note that that is a change in meeting date. So the originally scheduled date was the week before, but due to
Yes.
the length in between, we needed to change the meeting.
That's right. Like we said, we need 28 days from introduction to adoption, so we had to push it out 1 week. Resolution 2023-103 is a resolution approving the introduction and established Downtown Improvement District SID 2023 budget hearing date. And this is the introduction for the Downtown Improvement District budget. And then Resolution 2023-104 is a resolution authorizing payment of the attached bills payable list in the amount of $903,927.58. Some of the significant items are for the state of New Jersey, $139,707. That is the March state health benefits premium. The Garden State JIF is our second insurance installment for $145,843. And then we have Ben Schaefer Recreation, and that is for the gazebo at Veterans Park, paid with grant and capital funds. So our portion, $120,666. One more. Sorry. Almost done. Resolution 2023-105 is the resolution authorizing emergency temporary appropriations.
Okay,
That's it.
you off the hook. Legal, Diane.
Thank you. Resolution 2023-106 is a resolution of the Borough of New Providence authorizing the borough to participate in nationwide settlement agreements with Allergan, Teva, CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart to resolve claims involving their roles in the country's opioid crisis. Basically, this resolution is just approving the application for the borough to participate in this nationwide settlement. And if you note, we have had some settlements before, or been involved with some of these settlements before, and those were for the manufacturer of opioids. These are all for the distributors of opioids.
In fact, I got an email from Mike Serra from the League of Municipalities imploring us to participate. Okay, personnel, Matt.
Yes, Resolution 2023-107 is a resolution accepting written retirement resignation from Donna Sarna as Administrative Assistant for the Borough of New Providence Police Department. And we will also be requesting to advertise for Administrative Assistant for that position in our Police Department.
And we wish Donna well and thank her for her service for the many years she's been here. Okay, public safety, we have limousine taxi licenses, Shahid Akram, Summit Express, and Khalid Ibrahim, New Providence Calling Limo. The licenses were properly filled out and okay. We have Resolution 108 approving purchase order for Eastern Surplus and Equipment for $16,000. As you know, we had the 5-ton truck. What we found out in the last storm with Ida is that we had to pick up people, but we needed back steps to get up into the truck to get people out. So this is to put back steps in. Okay, Public Works, Alex.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2023-109, a resolution accepting the proposal of Collier Engineering and Design for professional serving services regarding Department of Public Works Yard, Block 76, Lot 3501. This is approving the proposal from Colliers to provide surveying services for the borough in order to set the boundary line between DPW and the County Green Acres Parkland. Once the survey is done, we'll be able to move the fence to its proper location.
Okay, sustainability, Diane.
Thank you. Resolution 2023-110 is a resolution approving the request of the New Providence Sustainability Committee to participate in a mini Fright Cycle and Green Fair event on April 15th, 2023. Basically, this resolution approves our participation, our Sustainability Advisory Committee to participate in Link's mini Free Cycle event at the United Methodist Church on April 15th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's kind of a testament to our Sustainability Committee and the work that we've done. Now we're having the community starting to engage in smaller events, more frequent, smaller events, and we're just there to help.
Okay, great. Okay, we have council committee reports. First, I'd like to say thank you to Bernadette and Allison. We have a new gazebo in Veterans Park and a brand new clock, which was sorely needed. And I saw Ralph out there today working on the other clock. One side of the hands on one side weren't working properly. I did want to bring up a couple things. It's not really borough business, but they have the Easter egg hunt on April 1st at 9:30 at Oakwood Park. And the fire department, police department, and EMS always show off their wares to the community and the kids. And we want to thank the Lions Club for, I think this is over 60 years they've been doing this. There's 2,500 eggs that they die. And it starts at 9:30 and it's over at 9:35. That's a joke, Mary Ann. Also, I was honored to talk to third graders at AWR, Mrs. Kowalski's class. They putting civics back into the classroom. And I have to tell you, I was very impressed that they had some very, very good questions about local government. And Nadine invited me to do Read Across America at the Presbyterian Church preschool. And those kids, they had a lot of questions too.
4 classes.
In fact, I have more comments than questions. I think I know where every single one of them is going for Easter. So, but besides that, operations normal. Okay, who's next, Diane?
I have a couple things. We heard about Sustainability Committee mini Free Cycle. There are also the Green Awards, don't forget about those. Anybody can vote for an individual or a business. And also mark your calendars for the Green Fair on April 22nd. Historical Society, go to the website for full information, but they continue to engage the community and be a visible presence with all generations. The ECLC of Chatham recently received a tour of the Saltbox Museum, as did a prior resident of the house when it was a home across the street. Wilna Gredgun Keats, who is 93 years old, toured it. The Saltbox Museum will be open this coming Sunday on April 2nd, 1 to 3. Mason Room in the NP Library is usually open to the public on Tuesdays. That's in the back of the library. The Saltbox Museum, the annual dinner is coming up, so buy your tickets for that. And the May 6th annual craft fair is coming up. Downtown Improvement District, we had our annual meeting held last week. One project that the DID is working on is a potential, and it's in the beginning phases, potential for a bike rack or racks on the piece of land on Springfield Avenue in front of the Starbucks/Chipotle. So that's very exciting. Another topic was green energy, like charging stations. So the businesses are starting to talk about that too. Another very exciting thing. Again, in the very beginning stages. And the GID is a proud sponsor of many of our NP activities, like summer concert series, National Night Out, and the Holiday Walk. So, good things happening.
I almost forgot a big thing down there.
What?
I have to congratulate Lisa because she got one of the recipients of the Good Scout Award. So congratulations.
I would also like to thank our police, EMS, and fire department for all of the senior in our NPHS for running around the town. So if you saw kids, crazy kids running around, that was what happened this week. And one of the things that we said was, please take a picture with, or thank one of our first responders. Everybody was so good to them. And the kids were really excited about it, and the first responders were just amazing with it. So, thank you.
Amazing people. Okay, Pete.
Yeah, just two quick announcements for community activities. One, spring break is April 10th through 14th, and the New Providence Recreation is offering camps for kids grades K through 6. There's still space available, which sounds like a good opportunity to register on Community Pass system. The other big announcement is registration for the annual PBA Fishing Derby opens next Monday, April 3rd. Via Community Pass, the Fishing Derby will be held at Oakwood Park on Saturday, May 6th at 8 a.m. That's it. Thank you.
Hope it's warm. Matt.
Fishing Derby is my favorite. I love it. I met one of my neighbors after we moved in. My daughter was probably 3. I went down to Oakwood Park after the Fishing Derby, and I brought a little pole with her, no hook, no nothing, put it in the water, made it look like she was fishing. One of my neighbors came down, he throws this reel into the pond, jerks it, grabs a fish, hands it to my daughter, she reeled in the fish. She was the happiest person in the world, took him 2 seconds, threw it back out, reeled in another one, handed it to my son. It's just truly amazing. It's one of my favorites, I love it. So, 2 quick things. Cricket pitch, the turf was ordered. I know we got a rendering on the turf. I was able to pass that along to the cricket club, take a look. They were very, very excited and happy to see that the turf itself was going to have the markings on it, which was they didn't expect it, so that was a nice little plus. So it's coming soon. Planning board, just a quick update I've been talking about for the last few meetings. We heard PBK 44 MPLC at 44 South Street. That's the 3-story mixed-use retail residential property. The planning board reviewed the plans with our borough professionals over a series of meetings. We've received input from residents. The owner is an existing successful businessman and also a resident of the borough. He was very cooperative, listened to all the input from our professionals, listened to the input from the residents, and he was willing to incorporate that input into his designs. What else can I tell you about the plan? Was unanimously approved by the board, and there's 4 apartments. 2 apartments are on South Street. They have balconies in the front, and they're going to be primo locations for our 4th of July celebration and our Christmas walk celebrations as well.
Probably need a helmet.
Maybe it's time to move. I could downsize.
Nadine.
Thank you, Mayor. First, this last Saturday, the mayor and I attended the Eagle Scout Court of Awards ceremony. We had 3 seniors from New Providence High School receive the Eagle Scout, of course, which is the highest honor that any Boy Scout can achieve. Included in that is our very own son of Diane Beliska, Zachary Pereira, Will McCarran, and Max Wazinski. It was an amazing ceremony, and one great thing is that I heard is that New Providence produces so many Eagle Scouts, and that is such a great honor, a lot of hard work, many of which we benefit from as a borough, from the great improvements to the bocce ball courts. The other one was something at Roberts School, the display case at
Display
Roberts.
case and the garden
Garden at the
Senior
Senior Center.
Center.
So our residents benefit from the outstanding work of our Eagle Scouts, so congratulations to Diane and to the boys, and that was a very nice ceremony. I also have one small, slightly off of the borough thing to say, and that is this upcoming Saturday, April 1st, is the New Providence High School prom fashion show.
Just fashion show, no problem.
It is a fashion show and tricky tray, which benefits all of the students at the high school. So there are baskets, that opens at 5 o'clock, and the fashion show begins at 7 o'clock, and there are 93 students who are walking. 52 girls and 41 boys, seniors who are going to be walking. It's going to be a great time, a very nice event. It's open to the public.
That's
all
almost the
ages.
entire class.
Actually, it's a big class,
It
there's
is
like
a big class.
168 kids.
Out of 168, so still 93 out of 168. It's going to be a great event, so it's open to everybody, all families, it's age friendly. You can buy the tickets online.
No, at the door.
Yeah, at this point, you have to buy them at the door. So 5 o'clock for the basket, 7 o'clock for the fashion show. So come on out and support our kids.
Actually, this event has been going on since I think the 1980s.
Yes.
And the other thing is it's student-centered. You've got kids behind the scenes. You have kids helping. That's what's so wonderful about it. So.
And in the 80s, that's when fashion was fashion.
That's why.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was the 70s, but
I could be wrong. It could be the 70s.
nothing better than a good leisure suit.
You might see one on one of our kids maybe.
Saturday.
Alex?
Nothing to report. Going to be scheduling some meetings with the engineering team and public works, but more to come.
Thank you. Lisa?
Okay, so before I jump into committee reports, I just want to say thank you to the community and to the Lions for their wonderful support. Anna, Pete, and the CSA members. We have one here, Matt. Thank you for a wonderful event that we had this past weekend at the DeCorso Center. It was the Pasta Dinner Basket Raffle. It was hugely successful, but more important than that is that all the money that we raise goes right back to the community. Nearly 100% of it. We basically all we do is pay some insurance and stuff like that, But it all goes back to help folks in town that need it. So thank you very much to the community and to the Lions for helping us with that. So let's see here, what do we have? The library board. The library board met last week, and one big piece of news there is that we voted on joining the Maine Library Alliance, which is a consortium of 37 libraries and 49 buildings. So why do you say we want to do that? We want to do that because it just provides a lot more resources and capabilities to our patrons. So they have I wrote it down and now I can't find it, but they have a collection, I think it was about 3.3 million pieces. That's physical. And then they have an extensive digital collection, where right now, I think I do have it. Right now, for instance, the wait time for an ebook at the New Providence Library is about 6 to 12 weeks. Joining the consortium, it will go down to 1 to 5 weeks. It's technology-wise, we will have a lot more resources. Stacy is ecstatic with the fact that we will have some new technology brought into the library, even just our, computer stations that are sitting there will be upgraded. We'll get a couple more of those. Like I said, it is a northern New Jersey network of 49 different libraries. Some of the local ones around here, Chatham, Madison, Long Hill, Bernards, Harding, Florham Park. So right now, we can share with Summit, like at Berkeley Heights, but we'll be able to share with these other libraries, and there will be an app so you can just quickly look and see if a book that we don't have is available somewhere else. You can order it, they will deliver it to New Providence. You don't even have to go get it, right? Right, Mark? Yeah. So we're really excited about that. I think it's going to be a really great benefit to our patrons. Another thing that I wanted to mention about the library, and this is something that's just really fun, and you guys are going to really get a kick out of this. So our children's librarian, her name is Deborah Sanford, aka Miss Debbie. Miss Debbie does a YouTube called Pajama Story Time. So Pajama Story Time has gone viral. She is now Miss Debbie had over 150 views in 50 different countries. Okay, 50 different countries. That's just blows my mind. 48,400 unique viewers. And all, like I said, all different countries, including Monaco, Sri Lanka, Brazil, Vietnam, Russia. It's awesome. Like we have the analytics from it. It's mind-blowing. Awesome. So she is famous, and she is putting New Providence on the map. Okay. They told a story of a little boy that walked into the children's library, and he looked at her and he goes, "Oh my God, you're Miss Debbie." You know, because he's only ever seen her on YouTube, right? And now here she is in flesh and blood. But such a great story, right? I love that. Did I miss anything, Mark? I think I got it. So that's the library doing great things.
Maybe we should recruit her to the State Department.
It's awesome. The library's always doing great things. And that's it. That's all I got. Yep.
Bernadette?
Thank you, Mayor. Just really quick, I want to remind people as the weather's getting warmer and we're all outside moving about, April is Distracted Driving Month. The police will be setting up details to help us be reminded that, you know, eyes on the road. There's also a lot of construction projects that are still ongoing in town, which kind of lend towards more distracted driving. So just a heads up while we're all out there on the road, PSE&G is still out there, the water company is out there. We're going to be starting our own paving projects in a few weeks, and as well as sidewalks and curbing. So just a heads up while you're out there driving, walking, biking, however you're getting around town.
It seems like every single street has flashing lights. The other thing I want to bring up is that the brush pickup starts April 3rd, so that's next Monday. So thank God, because I have a lot of bags. So, okay. At this time we have public comments. Anybody wishing to address council, please give their name and address. Yes, Ellen.
Thanks for thinking about putting in bike racks.
I'll take credit, but it wasn't me.
It's the downtown improvement district.
It's the downtown improvement district.
That's right.
It's the downtown improvement district. They own the property, so they're able to put them in.
Yep. Encourage them to do it. Okay. I brought this up before. I want to talk a little again about the amplification system. As you know, over the years, I've brought up the issues about accommodations for people with hearing impairments, and I continue to have some concerns about that. But tonight, I want to raise another issue related to the equipment, and that is that I didn't stay for the entire meeting last time, but I did watch the video. And there are some issues with the video and the use of the audio equipment. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples. During the meeting, there was the couple that came up and discussed the issue of, the issue's not important, but they were talking about the Union, the road on Union and the sidewalk. And what was important was that the husband, when he was speaking, was fine, he was here. The problem was that his wife was here. And on the video, I don't know how it's going to come out tonight, but on the video, it can be difficult for people. Not just people with hearing impairments. Also, during the same conversation, Chief Henn was speaking from the audience. it doesn't work for your video, and it defeats the entire purpose of doing the video. So I'm just bringing it up, that it's more complex than just people that have hearing impairments. It also impacts just any citizen wanting to look at it. And,
We'll take care of that.
and I have a simple solution for you. Adopt the system and the protocol that's used by the Board of Education. I have gone to meetings there, and it is perfect. They have microphones that you have to push the button and it lights up, and what that does is it identifies for the speaker that here's the microphone, I need to pay attention to it. When someone is speaking away from the microphone, they always have a handheld microphone in their hands, so that when they're making presentations, even with you in the front at the beginning of the meeting, they have a handheld microphone. It works, it's excellent. The other advantage is, in watching the video, that it eliminates the occasional distractions from coughing and other distractions that may come over the live mics. You all do an excellent job of keeping quiet and not talking and getting anything said on, the famous live mic problems that people have. So you do an excellent job of that. So I think that if you just went down to the Board of Education and watched what they do, it's a really easy solution, I think. It's just, and it works. I hope you'll do it. I wanted to say one other thing. I just want to mention 5 facts. And I'm not going to mention them with any comment or anything. I just want to mention 5 facts. And the reason I bring them up is again, another shooting at a school and more innocent people being murdered. And so, here are the facts. We're the only developed country where civilians own military-style weapons. For every 100 people that live in the United States, there are 120 guns or weapons. We've had 130 mass shootings in less than 90 days this year so far. 33 of those shootings were schools. By comparison, the last time that there was a school shooting in the United Kingdom was 26 years ago. We're waiting for the next one next week, or tomorrow. Finally, the leading cause of the death of children once out of infancy is bullets from guns. Thanks.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to address council? Seeing no one, I declare the public comments closed. We'll go to formal action. I need a motion for items 1 through 20, please.
So moved. I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Belisca?
Aye.
Mr. DeSarno? Aye. Mr. Kaminsky?
Aye.
Mrs. Jeffrey?
Yes.
Mr. Kogan?
Yes.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Okay. Before we adjourn, I just want to wish everybody for happy Easter and Holy and
Passover.
Passover.
Passover. I do so many in April. So I just want to say, just be safe out there. And Mr. Swanson did have a point, you always be aware of your surroundings. You never know what's going to happen. So at that, I will ask for a motion for adjournment.
So moved?
Second that.
All in favor?
Yes.
No? So be it. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you.